Hello, let's check out more old horror movie DVDs from my shelf. First up is this Ghoulies 2 double thing. I love when they did this. They did this all the time for DVDs. They did it for Hercules and several other things. Nowadays, you'd have to buy Ghoulies separate, Ghoulies 2, if they're on Blu-ray and stuff. They'll get you in the end. Of course, this is famous, where there's a ghoulie in the toilet there. The Ghoulies, of course, didn't really turn up much in their first movie. I remember being disappointed by that first film. It's like, it's not really about the Ghoulies at all. And then Ghoulies 2 is more what you expect, them causing mischief, this time in a sort of like a carnival area. The Ghoulies always reminded me of the Boglins. Look at this guy. I have a Boglin from the new redos of that stuff. I love that stuff. I think the Boglins were kind of modeled after this. Definitely not from the Boogans, which you'd figure the Boogans would be a lot like Boglins. But this is a fun little set to have. I'm sure there are Blu-rays and everything of this. But I do like this 2-pack of Ghoulies 1 and 2. Alright, this is horror adjacent, I guess, but the Ghostbusters. This is the original 1970s live action, The Ghostbusters, made by Filmation, doing live action stuff. These two were an F troop. This dude is big in fan circles. He did a lot of spook houses and stuff at his house in, I guess, the LA area around there. Bob Burns, Forrest Tucker, Larry Storch. Yeah, they bust ghosts, and when they made Ghostbusters the movie, they did it, I guess, without realizing there was a show before, and so they had to negotiate some sort of deal. This set is awesome. It's first time on DVD, last time on DVD, I think, too. But this has it's a slipcase with these two discs and this little insert here, Ghostbusters. So I mean, all of this will not be created, I guess, recreated for Blu-rays and things. It's a little fold out of all the different episodes. A lot of great, like, 70s actors, 70s TV actors in those episodes. It's all funny slapstick stuff, but they do go around busting ghosts, basically. They don't do it with proton packs and all, but it's a fun little series. Of course, the cartoon, the Filmation cartoon, is based on this. It was the sequel series with the kids of these characters, so that's cool. And, of course, you can't talk about Ghostbusters without the actual ghosts, but they're real Ghostbusters. So, of course, these Ghostbusters that I grew up with. I think these are the first the initial DVDs for these, because, of course, there were no DVDs back when the movies came out, so they made a big deal of this release, I remember. This was a big, big deal to get. And this has like storyboards, and it has production photos and deleted scenes. At the time, the deleted scene was the honeymoon people. There's DVD ROM stuff, and world premiere live video commentary. Yeah, so this commentary was a lot like MST3K, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, this was a bit. Yeah, here they are here. This was a big deal when this came out, this DVD. Of course, they've released 100 million other versions. And, of course, there's Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters, I think this came with an insert. Yeah, it did. I love this CD art here. It's pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, it's just a fold-out, and it has a write-up about the making of Ghostbusters and everything. And, of course, the scene selections, all of which would probably not be reproduced in the Blu-ray, but you tell me. Here's Ghostbusters 2. An awesome movie. I saw it in the theater. I thought this was really cool. There wasn't a lot of ghost busting in it, but it's fun. The characters are all there. The Scoleri brothers. There you go. This has an insert as well with another write-up about Ghostbusters 2. And you got Slimer here. Ghostbusters 2 is heavily influenced by the toy and cartoon franchise, which basically kept the franchise alive for a long time and kind of forced their hand to do a Ghostbusters 2. And we have Lifeforce. Lifeforce is known for one thing and one thing only, this girl. But there's a lot of cool makeup effects and creature effects, etc. It's pretty awesome stuff. A pretty trippy movie about basically a Lifeforce vampire. This poster adorned many a video store, with this giant eye and looking at the earth. Pretty funky stuff. But yeah, I fondly remember this. No one really talks about it, but just the striking key art for it was incredible. And then once you watch it, you're like, oh, this is why this movie is popular. All right, here's Pumpkinhead, Lance Henriksen. So yeah, Pumpkinhead was released, I think, in the late '80s. My first encounter with Pumpkinhead was the Fright Flicks Topps card set that had different images from different horror movies at the time. And this was called something like Vengeance the Demon or something like that before it was called Pumpkinhead, which is a lot more colorful and memorable of a name. A pretty fun movie. I don't know if this is the first time it came on DVD before it just got inserted into packs and things like this. Pretty fun stuff. I love this creature design. Let's get into the Swamp Thing of it all. So, there was Batman, there was Superman, and the other DC Comics character that had a franchise in the 80s is Swamp Thing. He had 2 feature films. This first one had Louis Jourdan and Adrian Barbeau. Swamp Thing by Wes Craven. Wes Craven directed the damn thing. That's pretty awesome. The makeup effects are pretty cool for the time. It looked impressive, but really, you could see here, there's a lot of just, like, green on the skin, right? There's a nose application and everything. But Swamp Thing looked pretty impressive at the time. This is a pretty fun movie. I love that it was based on a comic, and I watch it late at night. It's pretty cool stuff. Return of the Swamp Thing is a lot more campy and fun. It's got Heather Locklear this time, and Sarah Douglas. The makeup effects were a bit more intricate than this, but they come off looking a little weird and cheesy. These things supposed to be like branches, but they look just like plugged on rubber. There's more of the sort of twig mustache that he has in the comic books. I remember there's like a poster with like word balloons and things like this. Maybe I'm hallucinating that, but yeah, this is not the unrated version. But this is like an old funky DVD. I don't think this includes anything. No, it's like probably pen and scan and widescreen. But this just has scene selections and everything. So we had 2 movies. Swamp Thing also had a cartoon series that was like just a 5-episode thing that you run through the week. Swamp Thing also had a Kenner toy line. Complete with play set and vehicles and everything, and all different kinds of Swamp Things, and a live-action TV series on USA Network, which we didn't get here in Canada, but we got these DVDs. There is a 3rd volume that I never got. It's very, very rare. For this volume 2, I wanted to retain the sticker, so I just cut the plastic around here to get at the DVDs. So I retain this legendary DC Comics character returns. Here's the back of the boxes. So as I say, horror adjacent. I mean, Wes Craven did direct the first movie, right? So they intended for that to be horror, I guess. Here's the back of the boxes that has some art in it. And here are the volume 1 boxes. Oh, some sort of insert of, it's probably just, yeah, this is cross-sell stuff. I never got these Electric Company sets. I should have. I have this Mario and Zelda and Captain N. I never got that girl. Inside the Actors Studio, I could care less. I should have got this Weird Al Show set. It's around. I'll find it. Yeah, this is a lot of fun going through these old cross-sell like inserts. Tom Snyder, Johnny Carson, 40-year-old virgin, which I don't care. Music on DVD, music on CD. Yeah, fun stuff. So here is volume 2. Let's push that to the side here. Volume 2. I don't think this features any art on the DVD boxes themselves. Here is another insert. Next up is Night of the Creeps. This is a DVD from 2009. I think this is the initial DVD. I could be mistaken. But of course, the movie came from 1986. Thrill me. That's what this guy says every time he answers his phone. This has the theatrical ending with the flying saucer and all that stuff. Alien right here. Pretty neat movie. It's one of these, many, many neat movies from the 1980s. There's a lot of inventive and creative stuff in it. Pretty cool. And last but not least is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, with a giant honking key art of Dennis Hopper, who was definitely not hyped up when Part 2 came out. Yeah, this is, I don't know if this is the initial DVD for MGM DVDs, but it's a fun movie. I have Texas 1 lying around somewhere. I don't think I have Leatherface or Next Generation. And I don't think I ever bought the new ones, but, it's a fun 80s movie. I mean, it's a type of 80s awesome stuff that's like colorful and inventive and creative and all that stuff. Special feature, original theatrical trailer. That's all you get, man. But yeah, that's going to do it for this, this go-through of some horror DVDs. I have tons more in my disorganized shelves, all sorts of stuff. So I hope to do a lot more of these. Until next time, take care.